Hey, I'm Marc Ramos, and today we're throwing it back to elementary school with an A through Z glossary of travel terms. Let's do it. Jumping headfirst into the world of travel can be very confusing, especially for beginners. With so many terms being thrown around, understanding the ins and outs can be a little bit like learning a new language. But if you stick with me, before you know it, you'll be the one explaining what all of these terms mean to all of your friends. Now, just because you want to use your points and/or miles for a flight or hotel doesn't necessarily mean that you can. You'll have to check for award availability first, which is the number of seats that an airline has made available on a particular flight, or the number of rooms that a hotel has made available on a particular night that can be accessed with points or miles. Basic economy is the lowest cost, no-frills fare that comes with the most restrictions compared to standard economy. Restrictions depend on the airline, but vary from no seat assignment or carry-on allowance to fewer miles earned for the flight since you're paying a lower price. Carrier is a general term for any company or organization that transports passengers or cargo, in this case by air. We've seen an ongoing trend of loyalty programs devaluing their programs, as in raising the prices of reward redemptions, making it more difficult to redeem said awards, and even taking away perks that were previously offered. Airlines and hotels have programs for their most loyal members that offer a host of perks like room or seat upgrades, free nights, and more. We've got an entire video explaining elite status if you want to give it a watch in the cards above. Airlines classify your ticket based on the cabin that you're flying in, whether it's economy, premium economy, business class, or first class. And then each cabin is further divided by fare classes, designated by letters such as Y fare class or C fare class. Each airline may have their own classification system, but at the most basic level, these classes determine how much you pay for the ticket, how many miles you'll earn for the flight, and whether you're eligible for an upgrade. So you know that really long line that you have to go through when you land back in the US after an international trip, also known as immigration and customs? Well, having global entry will help you bypass that line. This program allows you to clear US immigration in minutes by submitting ahead of time to a background check and a relatively painless interview. Once enrolled, your global entry approval is good for at least 5 years, which means you can skip the big lines and use one of the global entry kiosks on all of your international trips. A hub is an airport that an airline has a major presence in and is typically used to connect flights to smaller destinations. For instance, Newark Liberty International Airport is United Airlines' New York area hub, whereas San Francisco International Airport is United's major West Coast hub. You'll see these 3 letters frequently on our website, thepointsguy.com. They stand for in-flight entertainment. While many airlines have been cutting back on seatback IFE screens in the recent years, others have been going full steam ahead. We always rate the quality and selection of an airline's IFE in every flight review we do on our website, so you'll know exactly what to expect. Jumbo jets. Strictly speaking, the biggest commercial aircraft that you'll find in the sky. These are the A380s and the 747s of the world. They're double-decker planes since they have both a top and bottom floor. This number, issued by the US Transportation Security Administration, otherwise known as the TSA, designates you as a trusted traveler. You'll get one of these by enrolling in TSA PreCheck, Global Entry, Sentry, or Nexus, all of which will save you a ton of time at the airport either before or after your flight. Technically, a layover is a flight connection of less than 4 hours if you're flying domestically, and 24 hours if you're flying internationally. Anything longer than that is considered a stopover. If you found one of these, you just hit the jackpot. A mistake fare is when an airline or hotel makes an error, resulting in a very unusually cheap airline or hotel fare that you may be able to book, although it almost never lasts long, so book fast. Not to be confused with a direct flight. All nonstop flights are direct, but not all direct flights are nonstop. A direct flight can actually make multiple stops along the way to your final destination, whereas a non-stop flight goes straight from point A to point B without any pesky layovers. This is a type of itinerary where you fly from point A to point B, but then return to point A from a separate point C. Say you book a flight from New York to London, and then Paris back to New York without any flights between London and Paris. If you look at the flight lines, there is no line between point B and point C, resulting in what visually looks like an open mouth. Airlines track the amount that you've spent on their tickets each calendar year as a metric known as qualifying dollars. Qualifying segments is the number of segments, also known as flights, that you've flown on an airline within a calendar year, and qualifying miles are the number of miles you've flown on a particular airline all within one calendar year. All three are used to calculate your elite status. Rewards are any points, miles, or loyalty currency that you've earned. For loyalty programs that employ an award chart, the Saver level award is the lowest number of miles that you can use to book a flight. Unsurprisingly, they're harder to find than higher level awards that cost more points or miles. Transfer ratio. This is the increments of points that you'll have to transfer from a flexible program to an airline or hotel program to get that dream award redemption. You got the magic ticket and a coveted upgrade, meaning that you get to fly or stay in a better cabin or room than you originally booked. To get one, you can pay for it outright with cash or use points or miles, or you can just simply hope that your elite status snags you a free one. There are many types of airplanes out there. For starters, you have AIRBUS and Boeing, which are the world's two major commercial plane manufacturers. Most commercial Boeing planes will start with a 7, like the 747, and most commercial Airbus planes start with an A, like the A380. There are different types of variants or versions of each model. Typically, they're identified by progressively higher numbers, with larger numbers identifying a later variant. For example, the 737-900 was designed after the 737-800. Sometimes an airline will rent out another plane from another airline. If that rental agreement includes not just the plane, but insurance, maintenance, and even the crew, it's a wet lease. 2x, 3x, 5x. In the travel world, X is a multiplier of how many points per dollar you'll be earning. This is a type of fare class that signifies a full-priced economy class fare. You're gonna earn a decent amount of redeemable and qualifying miles, although you'll likely be paying a lot more for your ticket than you would for a discounted fare class, such as H or O. 0 is the number of free vacations you'll go on if you don't play your cards right and use a rewards credit card, plus all of this valuable knowledge that you just learned in the last few minutes. And with that, you're ready to take on the travel world head first. That's it for me today, but if you like this video, throw it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button for more episodes of Power Pointers, and if you have any beginners questions, drop them in the comments and we might just make a video for you. See you later.